Hi, my name is Riya Gajjar. Along with my colleague Yutik Patel, Meet Patel, Dhairya Shah and Vikas Gadodia, we are having outsourcing human resource management facility which will help you out to recruit best employees in your company. Today I am going to give you brief idea about human resource management. Human resource management is often seen as a project oriented company core process influencing the way corporation acquires and uses human capital and how the work relationship is prescribed by the workers. Typically, large communicational and private organizations have an HR director or a manager who feeds every part of worker in the company to run smoothly from recruitment to dismissal or a retirement. The HR department is at the heart of the decision making in such organization. To carry out their strategic position in organization, HR members must be prepared to contribute their allocation to their organization development and growth. In several other words, they should be prepared to add a real value to the company and give effectiveness to the company. To carry out the strategic position in organization, HR member must be prepared to contribute their allocation to their organization and development and growth. In several other words, they should be prepared to add real value to the performance and effectiveness of the organization. There is a strong call for a HR executive to become strategic contributor to the performance of the company through the control of human resource in a business like strategy. Fundamental staff control in companies has essentially been replaced by the strategies and behaviors of HRM system. Organizations with a few or a significant number of employees are said to have or replaced by the department personnel with the title with human resource.
I will explain the main purpose and objectives of human resource management. So let's start with the importance of human resource management. First is to increase productivity and profit. Human resource management ensures right quality and quantity of personnel in workplace, apart from which it creates opportunities to facilitate and motivate individual and group of employees to grow and advance their career. Motivated employees work hard, meet their personal career goal, which directly influences productivity of organization. Minimizing cost and maximizing profits is the essence of productivity. To produce employees who are easily adaptable to change, human resource management performs various functions, among which training and development of employees is one of the vital ones. Training and development programs keeps employees updated with skills necessary to adjust with alternation of organization's environment, structure and technology. To match demand and supply of human resource. Human resource management probes existing human resource in certain interval of time to identify if the company has adequate number of workers or not. In case when company has inadequate human resource, then management performs activities like recruitment and selection to balance the need. In the same way, it lay off inefficient employees in case when the company excessive employees increase. So let's now talk about the objectives of human resource management. The primary objective of human resource management is to ensure seamless experience for the staff and the other people associated to management and organizational goals. Objectives of HRM include ensuring availability of resources, easy access to data, on-time payroll, ensuring compliances, etc. HRM objectives are basically influenced by organizational goals and vertical objectives of HRM. It is the major reason that the stable work environment with data at one place and efficient operation. Below mentioned are the 8 HRM objectives in depth elaborate. First is achieving organizational goals, which is the most basic objective for any firm or any organization to achieve end goal. Second is work culture. Third is team integration. And fourth is training and development, which is really necessary. Training and development should be given to each and every employee, which is very necessary to impart the knowledge and practical skills, so he should be comfortable to do work in any organization. Fifth is employee motivation. which is really necessary for any employee to get motivated and work. Sixth is workforce empowerment. Seventh is retention, and the last is data and compliance. I would like to say some few points on analysis for human resource management. Human resource management teaches how to utilize human and non-human resources so that the goals can be achieved. Organization aiming to utilize their resources efficiently invites the HR department to formulate required objectives and policies. Organizational structure defines the working relationship between employees and management.
I will explain about HR services delivery model in brief. Basically, HR service delivery refers to the function that supports and provides services to employees and organizations. The HR service delivery solution will span the entire life cycle from hire to retire, such as onboarding, payrolls, and benefits. HR model connects HR strategy, HR goals and objective, HR processes and jobs into operating model. Human resources have various service delivery model with their own specification and implementation process. The different HR models are standard casual model, clickbox model, the HR value chain, Harvard framework, Michigan model and Ulrich model. I am going to compare Harvard framework model and Ulrich model to identify their characteristics more deeply and analyze it critically. Harvard framework model was developed by several experts led by Michael Beer in 1984 at Harvard University, while Ulrich model was given by father of human resource Dave Ulrich in year 1995. According to Harvard framework model, the correlation between situation factors and stakeholders' interest strongly affects and helps to shape HRM policies, which should be implemented to lead to get desired HR outcomes, which are 4 C's such as commitment, competence, congruence, and cost effectiveness. The Ulrich model focuses on organizing all HR functions into central roles: strategic partner, change agent, administrative expert, and employee champion. Rather than focusing on process and functions, this model centers around the people of organization and the roles they play in grand scheme of things. The pros of Harvard framework model, also known as soft model, are it applies 4 C's which provides long-term benefit for an organization. It emphasizes more upon interests of stakeholders for longer period of time by recognizing the trade-offs either implicitly or explicitly between employees and the owners of group. Harvard model considers soft HRM approaches for growing employees and organization on simultaneous basis. Main benefits of Ulrich's model can be summarized as quicker response to the need of management, quicker response to the change condition in the organization, proactive HR approaches towards its internal and external clients, different HR organization based on the job, content and the needs of customer. Fifth, better methodology for the HR measurement. The benefits are not visible immediately in both delivery model. The successful implementation takes time and HR has clearly focused on the main implementation task to be fully done successfully.
Hello everyone. So let me give you a brief introduction of recruitment and selection process. So what is recruitment? A recruitment is a process where potential candidates are searched for and encourage them to apply for an actual job. Then what is selection? Selection is a process of hiring employees among the shortlisted candidates to provide a job into an organization. Recruitment is a one-step procedure of employment. However, it takes a long series of tasks. So what are the steps? The first step is known as analyzing the job requirement. The second step is known as advertising the vacancy. The third step is known as attracting candidates to apply for a job. The fourth step is known as managing response. The fifth step is known as inspection of application. And the last and the final step is known as shortlisting of candidates. Recruitment procedure done by Human Resources Department are done by 2 ways: internal source or external source. Internal sources are done by 2 ways: transfer or by my promotion. External sources are done by many ways, like employment agencies, educational institutions, local contractors, and many more. Selection is basically the process of implication of the right person into the right job. Every organization have their own selection process as they have their own requirement. Somehow the main process remains the same. So the first step is known as preliminary interview. The second step is screening. The third step is test, which includes aptitude test, performance test, knowledge test, etc. The next step is medical, and we have the final selection. There are some ethics which need to be followed in recruitment and selection procedures. So there are total 7 ethic principles. So the first one is advertising only genuine job. The second point is not abusing of the power position. The third one is passing only necessary information. The fourth one is not interrupting the candidates is a loaded of question. The fifth one is giving them on the basis of the ability. The sixth one is keeping the candidates information confidential. And the last one is informing the candidates of selection or a rejection. As we have ethical principles, we have ethical issues also. So the first one is employment issues is like pressure to hire a friend or a relative. The second one is cash incentive. The issues includes like basic salary, annual increments and many more. The third one is discrimination. A law is evolved to avoid the practices of the discrimination of the employees on the basis of sex, caste, religion, age, etc. The fourth one is appraisal. The performance appraisal should always be based on the ability of an employee. The fifth one is privacy. The private life of an employee shouldn't be affecting his professional life. It should be free. So the last one is safety and health. Industrial work is always hazardous. An organization should always keep safety and health of their employees.
Nowadays, equality and diversity plays a major role in the organization of providing different ideas and structure and keeping a balance between the employees and the organization. So we have been involved in evaluating some points of the practices from the viewpoint of advisor. A positive approach towards diversity encourages you to find out the right individual for the job required on the basis of merit alone and free from bias on the basis of considerations such as age, disability, gender, religion, maternity or race that are not so important for the job required abilities. By creating a diverse and equal workplace, organizations are able to draw out a wide range of different ideas and structure from a workforce full of different skills, resources, talents, experiences, energies, all of which will put a business in a place where we can stand at a higher level. Creating an inclusive and diverse workforce brings the benefits to the business. Having a diverse range of experiences and identities within the team can help the business to get a better understanding and serve for the needs of customers. In the company, if the company wants to be a diverse organization, they have to recruit a range of different people. Okay, encouraging equality and diversity to a workplace has the benefit to attract and remains motivating and nowadays equality and diversity plays a major role in the organization of providing different ideas and structure and keeping a balance between the employees and the organization. So we have been involved in evaluating some points of the practices from the viewpoint of advisor. A positive approach towards diversity encourages you to find out the right individual for the job required on the basis of merit alone and free from bias on the basis of consideration. By doing unbiased recruitment, a company can recruit qualified and skilled professionals suited best for the particular job. A company can select best employees either by their experience in the field or person suited skills for the job.
Let's conclude. Outsourcing is a business practice of contracting with an outside party to take care of certain tasks instead of hiring new employees or assigning those of existing staff. In a popular way for a business to lower operational costs and stream operation while still handling important functions. Outsourcing will help you in focusing in core tasks, lower cost, promote growth, maintain operational control, offer staff flexibility, provide continuity and risk management, development in internal staff. Thank you so much for watching our video.